Hey everyone, welcome to the Daily. Greg Lawless and Simon Borg here, and the transfer merry-go-round is circling again as we approach January and the opening of the transfer window. All right, Simon, let's get right to it. The big name out there right now, Paddy McCourt, a striker.
Big name?
Big name, Paddy McCourt. He's a striker for Celtic right now over in Glasgow. Another SPL forward, maybe heading over this way.
Who can't find time with Celtic. Right. So you wonder what kind of contribution he can make in MLS. He's another offensive player. At some point, the Portland Timbers are going to have to start shopping defense here because I think that's their biggest weakness.
Yeah, maybe, except that we've already heard other coaches, the new Chivas coach saying, I'm not going to play defense. We're going to win 6-4. A Portland-Chivas USA match might actually be the most entertaining we've had yet. Some other names out there right now. Pagay Lyandula, who is a French player for PSG. He's been a regular over there at PSG, maybe heading to the Red Bulls. What do you think?
You're seeing Gerard Houlier's influence already on this team. Juninho Pernambucano was a player for Houllier, and now Houllier has contacts with Lyon, and he used to be a former player for Lyon as well. So I think this is a good acquisition if what we're hearing is true, and he wouldn't be a DP.
Right, especially if he's not a DP, because it helps him from the salary cap issue. Now, a couple of players that are already done. This is no longer rumors or reports. The big one, of course, is Claudio Bielor joining Sporting Kansas City. They had a press conference yesterday at Livestrong Sporting Park and said all the right things, and assistant coach Kerry Zavagnin said all the right things as well. What do you think?
What was interesting to me is my recollection of Bielor playing, he doesn't fit the Kansas City mold. So it was interesting for me to hear Kerry Zavagnin say, we followed him, he does work hard. He has that work rate at forward. So we'll see now if he really pans out. Interesting to hear Kerry Zavagnin also say that Kansas City is now mature enough maybe to adapt tactically to other formations and not stick to that 4-3-3, which to me cost them in the playoffs.
Do you think that this is also an indication that maybe one of those other players, Teal Bunbury, CJ Sapong, someone like that is maybe on the way out?
Possibly. Everyone wants all the Akron guys to go to Portland now that Caleb Porter's there. So I think that connection is going to be made until the season actually starts. Will he go and cherry pick his guys from other teams?
I don't actually think they will move anyone. I think they saw this year especially they wanted more depth. When Teal Bunbury went down, that really hurt them on the depth side. Another player that is done, Pipaco, going to Dallas. Brazilian attacking-minded player, creative player. Is this what they needed in that midfield?
To me, this is the fascinating signing that's happened so far because he is good enough. He made his name in the second division in Brazil, but he was good enough that Vasco da Gama took a chance on him, and he was on their team. And if you're on Vasco's team, you are a good player. And I'm interested to see how he translates. He would seem to me potentially a second forward behind Blas Perez or potentially a replacement for David Ferreira if he, for some reason struggles to get fit ahead of 2013.
Well, a couple of other ones that are a little bit more scant at this point right now. Jose Gonçalves, maybe to the Revolution, a holding midfielder, center back type, who right now is with Swiss side Sion. And Wilmer Crisanto, we've heard about this one for a while, to Seattle, but the director down in Honduras for Victoria saying it's going to happen and he's going to join the Sounders. Stay tuned to MLSsoccer.com to find out all the news about transfers and, of course, the rumors that happen as well. Well, there was a lottery on Tuesday in Major League Soccer, and young U.S. international Moby Fair was in the weighted lottery, ended up with the Portland Timbers. And Simon, this got us thinking a little bit yesterday, in conjunction with a report that came out yesterday about how MLS is talking to USL Pro about a kind of joint league or having reserve teams from MLS play in USL Pro. Now, nothing is confirmed by MLS when we contacted them, but it got us thinking about the Reserve League a little bit. We talked about it on March the Match, which will be out today. What do you think about all this? And is this the kind of a player like Moby Fair, he needs to get games?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's fascinating to me about this, Greg, is what direction does MLS go? Do they take, for example, the Colorado Rapids reserves and throw them into one of these leagues, whether it's USL or an ASL? Or do they say, hey, DC United, let's form a relationship with Charleston nearby, and let's have your reserve team essentially go to Charleston, move to Charleston and be the Charleston Battery. So that's the most fascinating part of this to me. Maybe there's a mix of the two. And then which direction do they go, USL or an ASL? We hear an ASL talking about wanting to be on par with MLS. So that's an interesting dynamic there.
Well, lots going on in the Reserve League and youth development, a big topic around the U.S. and Canadian soccer scene right now, for sure. Let us know what you think about the reserves and how they can actually improve things. Tell us in the comments below. Hit us up on Twitter, any of that stuff. And stay tuned to MLSsoccer.com for all the news as we get going toward the season. Super Draft's right around the corner, isn't it?